Perfect. This is Lewis Hart for Boxing Social in association with Empire Fights on Our Kings. Delighted today to be joined on a nice Monday afternoon with our Siesta. It's been a long time, mate. Where have you been? What's been happening?
Brother, first of all, good afternoon. Nice to hear from you. And I've been everywhere and nowhere, as you know. But nice to be back in media. That's the first
Yeah,
interview I've done maybe for 3 years. I
yeah.
don't
Well,
recall any, but it's good. It's good. Nice
it's
to
a,
be
it's a,
back.
it's an honour that I am the one to conduct it. Obviously, coming towards the end of the year now, and we'll touch just before we do touch on Saturday night. Yeah, I guess how have things been? How have you looking at 2024 coming to a close?
Yeah, look, I'm still in boxing. I'm still excited about the game. There's a few things in progress, as you know, and looking forward to 2025. Have some good things coming. And yeah, still in the business, you see, still in business. So all good.
Yeah, just before we do touch on Saturday night, I guess I did want to touch on to you about obviously your involvement with the IBA. I did see you in Dubai. Yeah, I guess what's sort of going on there and your involvement with them.
Just involved on international capacity because I was working with GBM, I was working with Boxer previously, and it's time to get freelanced again. I'm a free-natured person, as you know, and I like to be in control and do things that I would like to do in my own way, if you know what I mean. So I'm back to Premier League boxing and looking forward to 2025. And I think IBA is a very good transition because people have funds, people have ambitions as a huge international organization. And I am a crisis manager by nature, and I like challenges. So this is perfect for me. Let's see what 2025 will bring.
Absolutely exciting times, mate. But yeah, let's just move on and touch on the Saturday night. Obviously, Oleksandr Usyk retaining the heavyweight titles against Tyson Fury. Even before the first fight, Al, you was very confident that Usyk won. He obviously won that and won the rematch. So yeah, guess what were your thoughts on what unfolded on Saturday night in the heavyweight division?
I thought Usyk was the one who was trying all entire fight. He was better in every single aspect, maybe a little bit better, but that was enough to win the fight. He forced the pace. He brought the fight to Tyson, and Tyson really he was a survivor in second best for me. He was more focused and maybe more disciplined second time around, but Usyk was the one who was doing all the work, and one rightly so. I gave 9-3 because I was impartial and I didn't have any financial invested interest. And I wasn't there, I was just a spectator observer and I had no emotions really. So I was scoring what I was seeing without any patriotic background because, as you know, I am British, but I'm not English, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
So I
Hmm.
was an impartial viewer. And I thought Usyk just outclassed Tyson, and Tyson was second best.
Hmm.
So it was a foregone conclusion, and right man won the fight, and the right hand was raised. In my opinion, again, I've seen back and forth, but at the end of the day, it's all emotions. And the beauty of our sport is the passion and difference of opinions. And I respect and support any opinion, you know?
Hmm. Definitely. And I guess one thing I wanted to touch on with Usyk, and it isn't just the Fury fight, it's multiple fights, but what do you think it is about his ability to, I guess, turn the tide in fights when things aren't particularly going his way? He has this ability to almost turn the screw. How much of a credit do you think that is to him that he is able to do that so well?
He's an incredible guy, incredible fighter, very solid guy, and understands how to adopt in any circumstance, experience, intelligence, and belief in his own ability. Ultimately, he knows how to get the cortisol levels down during the fight and rethink and start from scratch. And that's what defines ultimate professionals and world champions from the rest. And I think Usyk is an exemplary individual to that matter because when you're thinking you're climbing on him, he suddenly turns the tide and comes back at you. It's incredible. He's shown time and time again that he is one of the best, in my opinion, the best of his generation, you know?
Definitely. You mentioned the scoring there and how you had the fight. I guess it was something that did come under sort of on social media, there was a lot of all different shouts, people thinking Tyson Fury won, shouts of him being robbed. What were your sort of thoughts on those claims, I guess, from obviously Frank Warren was one that was pretty incensed that Fury won, but what was your thoughts on the whole thing of the idea that people did think Fury win or it was a robbery and such?
Uh, Again, as I said, I respect every single opinion. And Frank, look, Frank is an Englishman, and Tyson Fury is his fighter, and he really needed for Tyson to win that fight to have a trilogy and have continuation of his credible rise. Frank done incredible, Queensbury done unbelievably, partnering up with Turkey Al Sheikh and doing some huge things. And he really, I understand. If I would have been in his position, I would have felt emotional as well. But realistically speaking, from what I've seen on the screen, what I experienced from the fight, Tyson was second best. He was jabbing well and he was controlling Usyk to a certain extent, but Alexander was the one who was bringing the fight, absolutely obliterating Tyson's body. And the commentary wasn't mentioning any of that, but that's another subject. And I think he had perfect game plan. I'm talking about Oleksandr Usyk, and Tyson looked second best just because he survived the fight with Usyk and he was fairly close and always stayed in the fight doesn't mean he won the fight. No, Usyk clearly won the fight. And Eddie's opinion about it's being a draw, obviously Eddie kept it close for the future credibility and AJ's fight. We understand because it's all business, and but deep inside, they all know who was the winner, and they've seen it with their own eyes, and they are very credible operators, being in business for a very long time. They know exactly what they saw. So it's all forgiven. That's all and passions and all a banter really.
So for yourself, you said there about Usyk having it 9-3, so 116, 112. You had no problem with that being quite a wide scorecard, in your opinion.
Full card, not to make it too wide. If you can imagine if 116, 112 caused huge commotion. Imagine if it would have been wider. And what I loved an AI judge. I really like an artificial intelligence judge because that's an impartial machinery. Whatever algorithm they've got, it's working. Because 118, 112, it's a solid score representing exactly what we experienced. And it's not because I've got Eastern European background. Again, I've seen it with my own eyes. Usyk doing better job in every department. So I'm now kind of an advocate for artificial intelligence interference, and it would be great if we can have something like that implemented very, very soon in boxing. It requires, because we keep arguing about this, about judging and refereeing, and fighters' careers got broken because of bad judging and refereeing. But partly it's a part of the game, and that's what makes it exciting. That's what makes it exciting. But at the end of the day, the production values, and there are so much more that we can focus on to bring the excitement to the broadcast and the fights. So I think judging and refereeing should be up to scratch, and I think artificial intelligence could make huge contribution into that one.
That's interesting.
I'm a supporter.
There was something you mentioned about the commentary there, ignoring the bodywork of Usyk, and I did see one of your tweets at Sergio Mora. Was you quite frustrated at some of the commentary and I guess sort of what was being ignored by Oleksandr Usyk?
Watched the fight, and my kid said, "What is he talking about?" Because I mean, but Sergio is not his fault. I think it's almost like he got confused. His first assessment of first 4 rounds was so inaccurate. And he said, "Oh, Tyson Fury doing all the work and blah, 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 blah," unless I misheard it. And I thought, wow, that's crazy. But then second, like a second set of 4 rounds, like from round 5 to round 9, he completely turned around and he was all pro Usyk. So I think it was a confusion. But I tweeted because I thought that's interesting. There's no emotion. You see, I'm trying to detach myself from sport when I'm watching. And I thought, I just tweeted for the sake of the tweet, really, and I found lots of companionship from Galal Yafai or Yafai brothers and Charlie Edwards. I think everyone said, yeah, absolutely. Like But I think Sergio realized, and he fixed himself quite quickly. But
Hmm.
anyway, so
Yeah.
but I've heard on the zone the commentary was slightly biased, and I understand. Again, it's business and an Anglo-speaking audience, and everyone wanted Tyson to win. Let's don't go around the bush. Everyone, Oscar De La Hoya, Frank Warren, Eddie, Turkey Al Sheikh, because it's business, and we understand. We want the fire keep burning in Tyson Fury. But I'm all for the best man win on the night, and that was Oleksandr Usyk, and that explains the biased commentary a little bit because when I used to work for Sky, and you do get like your fighters support the home fighters, they will be supported. Otherwise, it goes against business grain, isn't it?
Hmm. Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I get that. I get that. One thing I wanted to ask you, and I guess on a wider topic, when it comes to Alexander Usyk in the heavyweight division, for what he's done in a short amount of time, do you think that warrants him in place of the one of the greatest of all time?
He is the greatest of all time, undoubtedly. He's done incredible things. European amateur champion, world amateur champion, Olympic amateur champion, cruiserweight unified champion, world boxing super series winner, heavyweight unified champion, undisputed champion, uh, all around. It's an incredible career. There is no fighter. Is there any other fighter that have so many accolades? I don't believe there is.
I
It's an
I
incredible
complete.
career. And you know what? He's still intact. He's still cognitive. He still looks good. He still improves from fight to fight. There's no signs of any decline. Alexander Usyk is the GOAT of our generation. Possibly the greatest ever lived. Possibly. Arguably. Definitely our top three. There's no coincidence he was born on the same date as Muhammad Ali. I'm telling you, God works mysterious ways. And Usyk is the one for me right now. Also, I know him personally. He's a solid guy. He's a true gentleman, great sense of humor, a very humble man. He is a great epitome of the modern time role model. Great guy.
I guess that brings me on to a question of what is next for him. I saw Daniel Dubois in the ring, which was sort of not very received the best by a lot of people. But what would you like to see Usyk do next? Is it a Dubois Parker winner, or I guess what would you see?
Daniel wasn't his fault. Someone put him up to that. You know, Daniel is a very modest, very shy individual. He would never do that. I mean, but they tried. Again, it's all business ideas. It didn't come across well, but that's not Daniel's fault. I think Usyk already been with the boy in the ring. He stopped him. There's no
Mm.
there's no question about that. It was a low blow. And listen, that's my opinion, personal opinion. People can scrutinize that. I'd say the glove is quite wide and the thumb area was somewhere at belly button. But don't forget, what about this area or
Yeah.
whatever? It was at the crotch. It was in the crotch area. You could see it on all the pictures. It was a low blow. But anyway, I don't think there is a necessity to fight Daniel Dubois and give him a rematch. And at the end of the day, Dubois needs to still beat Joseph Parker first, which is a very hard fight for him because Parker is very competent, great mover, can bang a bit. Um, and it's a 50-50 fight. It's not given by any stretch of imagination whatsoever. I won't be surprised if Parker will take it. And if Parker beats Daniel Dubois, Parker is quite dangerous for Alexander Usyk because he is a mover. He's got great engine, and he's in that age that he's absolutely peaking right now. So, what would you do if you Alexander Usyk? He's got the money, he's got the legacy. I would probably walk out and do some world's advocacy and be a great ambassador for the sport and for his country. But that's me because I'm not fighting. And I don't know if he still have some ambition. There are rumors about him coming down to cruiserweight again and fighting Jaya Pitaya. If he feels like he is ready, if he is cognitively and physically able to do so, that's his choice. But I don't know. I mean, he's got his team around. They probably will make that decision. What a great fighter. What a great human being.
Absolutely. Before I do let you go, Al, I'd be wrong not to ask you about Johnny Fisher versus Dave Allen. Yeah,
Yeah.
a lot of controversy around that fight. more obviously on the scorecards, as you say, sort of going back to what you said, but what did you make of, I guess, that fight and the scoring of the fight?
Oh, look, we all know again it was a business decision. Johnny Fisher is a young fighter, up and coming fighter, huge ticket seller, very popular fighter for Matchroom. Has great charisma with a nice, charismatic, quirky family. And we should preserve people like that. But if you ask me about the referee and judging for that fight, Johnny done a great work for the first half of the fight. Then Dave Allen's experience came to part, and David won that fight. But toughness of Johnny Fisher was exemplary, and hopefully there's no side effects after this fight. His MRI is still intact. He will recover from that pretty quickly, and that's a great lesson for him. They could have given a draw to make it more impartial, so no one would suffer. But giving Johnny a win on split decision, I think that was one step too far for me. But again, it was very close, and David is used to getting robbed. I mean, and he's used to being there just about winning titles, and not even getting robbed is exaggeration, but he used to be second best. He used to be in second best. So I think he's disappointed. But you know what? At the end of the day, we all seen what happened, and we know who was the winner, who the winner was. Sorry. But Johnny Fisher, great for his career, great learning curve, fantastic fight on TV. It wasn't the highest quality, but it was great in terms of passion and grit. And I hope to see him very soon, you know?
Definitely, for sure. Al, before I do let you go, yeah, anything else you wanted to add before this interview does come to a close? You haven't heard from you in 3 years, mate. So, you still there?
Listen, yeah, I'm putting things together. And yeah, I'm hoping to do more media in 2025. There's lots that I can say, and there's even more that I can't say. And I used to be known for controversy, but I am now a corporate man in the corporate business, and I need to be careful. Listen, we're all grinding, and I respect all my fellow professionals in boxing. We all trying. Nobody wakes up in the morning wanting to be bad, you know, come on, we know that. So yeah, I'm hoping that business will prosper for everyone. I'm hoping to work with everyone and bring some big boxing to United Kingdom and Europe with my fellow partners, IBA, Pro. We have fantastic stable. We've got all the Olympians, ex-Olympians, talent all throughout the globe of the highest quality that will soon come to light. And I'm hoping to be a big part of the promotional campaign, and looking forward to speaking to you as well, you know, again and again and again.
100%, mate. First of many. Al, always a pleasure to speak to you, mate. Always good to see you, mate. And yeah, massively appreciate the time and enjoy your Christmas and your New Year. Top man. Thank you, mate.
Likewise, my friend, seasonal greetings to you and Merry Christmas, or how they say in my family, Christmas Mubarak.
Top man. Thank you. Cheers, mate.